Al Jazeera Podcasts.
I'm David Enders, and this is The Take. As Israel's war on Gaza continues, we're coming to you on Sundays with a weekly roundup. This week, 130 days into a ceasefire, Israel has killed at least 574 Palestinians in Gaza. The reopening of the crossing between Gaza and Egypt remains insufficient to meet Palestinians' needs. Israel returned more bodies of Palestinians it had killed to Gaza. Today is Sunday, February 8. Israel has killed more than 71,850 Palestinians in Gaza since October 7, 2023. The Rafah crossing between Egypt and Gaza officially opened on Monday, but with severe restrictions. So far, around 30 people have been allowed to leave Gaza for medical treatment, out of an estimated 20,000 that need it. Al Jazeera's Hind Khoudary reported on Friday from the headquarters of the Palestinian Red Crescent in Khan Yunis, where Palestinians have been gathering to leave Gaza to Egypt.
No one is informing Palestinians when does this crossing opens, when does it close, what is the process. And since Monday, since the Rafah crossing started operating, only 145 Palestinians patients along with their companions left the Gaza Strip, and only 98 were allowed to return. So the numbers are very little. We're talking about at least 20,000 Palestinians that need urgent medical evacuation, and the numbers that are leaving the Gaza Strip are very, very little. And also the process is very long, where even Palestinians returning are saying that they are taking very long hours waiting to cross back. Also, they're being interrogated, they're being handcuffed, blindfolded, and they're also being harassed by the Israeli forces. So this is not what Palestinians were looking forward to. They wanted real freedom of movement.
Israel returned 54 Palestinian bodies to Gaza this week. Al Jazeera's Ibrahim al-Khalili filed this report on Saturday after speaking to some of the families attempting to identify missing loved ones. The fates of thousands of Palestinians from Gaza still remain unknown.
These blue bags carry the weight of lives lost. Forensic officials say Israel returned the bodies without names or identities. Now they're undergoing examination, prolonging the grief of families desperate for closure. Shad is hoping these digital images will give him something months of waiting could not.
My brothers have been missing for 10 months. They disappeared in the Al-Tufah neighborhood. I went to Al-Shifa medical complex, where we were told there were bodies we could try to identify. However, the images were unclear and lacked discernible features.
Shadi says his brothers had gone in search for food and water during the peak of the famine. They never returned.
We contacted multiple institutions, but none were willing to help or provide reliable information.
His mother is inconsolable. His brother's children silent, unwilling to voice their worst fears.
Israeli forces hand over the bodies of Palestinians with little regard for human dignity. Families receive the remains of their loved ones without a proper documentation. Sometimes the bodies are mutilated beyond recognition. There is no information on how they died or how long they were held, leaving Palestinians with not only their grief, but unanswered questions.
2 Human Rights Watch employees have resigned, saying that the organization sought to suppress a report on Israel preventing the return of Palestinians. Omar Shakir, who directed Human Rights Watch's Israel and Palestine program and had worked there for more than a decade, spoke to Al Jazeera on Wednesday.
My resignation was, of course, driven by the decision of our executive director to halt publication of our report on the right of return for Palestinian refugees. Now, this is a report that had been in works for months. It was based on interviews with dozens of Palestinian refugees, documenting the impact of Israel's longstanding denial of return on refugees, connecting what was happening with the recent ethnic cleansing and mass displacement in Gaza and the West Bank with Israel's attacks on UNRWA, as well as the longstanding denial of return. The report was fully vetted through Human Rights Watch's review process. It was slated for publication coded to the website, translated, and just days before its release, our executive director pulled the report. He did not put any reasons in writing. To this date, he has refused to do so. But my months-long engagement on this report made clear that it was not driven by law or by facts. It was, in fact, a decision to halt publication, to halt a call for respecting human rights out of concern that we'd be seen as challenging the Jewish state, which they felt would be too risky for the organization.
And that's The Take for Sunday, February 8. Please join us again tomorrow. This episode was produced and mixed by me, David Enders. Our sound designer is Alex Roldan. Alexandra Locke is The Take's executive producer. And Ney Alvarez is Al Jazeera's head of audio.